Let's get the show on the road.
Is everyone okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, it's Monday. Eric's high. Joe's here. Rex is here. And everyone's audio is okay?
Everyone's audio is good.
Okay, we're off and rolling, guys. We're live.
Live, Al. It's fine, folks. We had a little bit of an audio issue with the first thing. It's fine. I had a
you stole my chair idea.
What?
Yeah, I did.
Stole my chair idea, Joe.
I did. I printed
Son of a
it
bitch.
Printed it out. You can still do it.
No, it doesn't matter.
And then, I had a little mini panic attack there because I thought, so you guys, I mean, obviously this isn't going to be on the thing, but the last link, something was fucked up. So we're like, oh, we got to start again. I'll send you a new link. And I didn't see a new link come through. So I was like, oh, this is how I get fired. They don't tell me. They just like start a new link one day. And then they're like, oh, fuck. I'm glad he didn't click on that. That's good.
Oh, yeah. No, the new Good Brother Morning starring Easy Eric Kearney, Rex, and Kingdom Dog is going to be awesome.
There you go.
And he would be your replacement.
Oh, for sure. He's got a board. He's got a board.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
gets him
That, and I just feel like that's what he does. He's now the podcast king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's too busy though. Maybe that.
Too many podcasts, you think?
He'd be too busy for this probably.
Probably.
5 days a week. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot.
We had a poker game on Friday. Joe also wasn't invited to.
Yes.
I'm in the club now. I'm in the poker club now, so I'm not offended anymore. But
There you go.
yeah, we had an online poker game with Easy, myself, John Greed, Stratos, Scumbag, Kingdom obviously was there. One of his buddies, who by the way is Kingdom's buddy, is just like Eric in the sense that they're both degenerate gamblers and
Yeah.
drinkers.
It's great.
Yeah, Lenny told me something about you
Oh,
guys.
Lenny was there. Yeah, Lenny was there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was there,
he
yeah.
told me
Sorry,
something about you guys being like, yeah, next hand, I bet you I'll win. You know,
Well,
50
after
bucks or
like
whatever.
after everybody left, or like when they did the
Oh, we were all still there. Yeah.
well, yeah, but after you did the buyouts at midnight when we stopped playing, yeah, myself and Lenny's or Kingdom's friend were like, all right, well, I'll go in right now. I'll buy back in straight up, $25 and just go all in first, like without seeing anything.
They're basically just playing hands head to head, $25 a hand,
Yeah.
like each,
So-
like $50 hands, really.
Yeah, and then I won, and he's like, "Well, with my money back," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And so I went in again, and then he won, and then Rex was like, "You got to stop, man." Rex was the father figure.
And
Wow.
Easy was already $75 out. He already bought it
yeah.
3 times for the
Yeah, it
poker
was-
game. So at the end of the night, what was it, like $200 you were out?
No, it was $125 I lost total.
Oh, because you won a couple of those head-to-head hands.
No, because I lost 50 at him, and I lost 75 on the 3 buy-ins.
Well, I
Ladies
told
and
everybody else it
gentlemen,
was $200.
our guest for today, Monday. There, we are, guest is the Bulldog.
Doing the Newfie voice.
That's just
We're
how
not
I
gonna
talk.
start that right away. No.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I apologize if I offended. How's it going, man?
It's going slow, steady.
Yeah,
Not good.
good.
Yeah, man, I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, I think it's the last PWA show.
Like the actual last when we closed the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
It sounds fuzzy.
Yeah.
Especially for Eric.
Oh man, but you are you guys wrestling out there in Newfoundland? Is there anything going on?
Yeah, we actually got our start date for next month, June 11th and 12th. So
Nice.
Hey, there
we
we
started
go.
back up in November, and then we got shut down again at the end of January. So
Oh, you guys had a lockdown like Ontario did?
yeah, we were locked
Oh,
down for almost 2 months.
Like Ontario does currently,
Yeah,
It will not-
yeah, that's right.
showing no signs of stopping at any time.
No, I was actually supposed to be in Ontario now for work. So
Okay.
that's
Not
just, like,
so
slowly-
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was actually working on moving back. So then the lockdown happened, and now it's on hold again. So
Yeah.
So
Well,
you,
yeah.
you're moving back to Ontario?
well, see where my line of work, everything's dried up out here, especially because of COVID. So work sites, everything's shut down. And the Toronto Union reached out and said, "Come if you want." So I was like, "All right, well, let's move home."
I always thought when Quebec was talking about separating, I always thought that'd be a lot easier because it would mean Newfoundland's a lot closer to Ontario now if they separated. So
Yeah, you're stupid. I don't. I don't.
You do this. You complain constantly that all we do is shit on you, but then you do things like this. You say
and
things
totally
like
redeem yourself. No,
Oh man, that was so bad.
Brandon, let's talk about. Did you hear about Sexy Star, the wrestler chick that?
She got beat up yesterday or something. didn't
Yeah,
she?
the wrestler chick that she intentionally injured Rosemary, or Courtney Rush, as we called her in Ontario.
Yeah.
This was years ago or whatever at a show in Mexico, I believe, AAA. She put her in an arm bar. Rosemary tapped out. She intentionally injured her arm. Well, she decided to do some MMA recently this weekend and got her fucking face caved in. Like,
Oh my God.
she's like, yeah, I'm a shooter. I can fight, like, for real. Then, like in wrestling, when you're supposed to trust your opponent and they give you your arm, but then she went and did it for real and just got fucking rocked. Like, you gotta Google the picture right now. So not any one of you guys, but I'm saying if you're listening, Google the picture because she got smushed. It was awesome.
Rex, Google the picture and share the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, no, it's too hard.
Swollen shut, like swollen.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
ugly. It was like end of Rocky, you know what I mean? It's like cut me, Mick. That kind of, it was ugly.
So
That's awesome.
I mean, normally I'm not all for that kind of violence, but for somebody who, Courtney Rush wasn't the only person that she did that to. Like, so I mean, she thought she was this big tough shooter guy that I can wrestle for real, and then she got fucking bonked.
She's enjoying this so
yeah,
much.
You're
I am.
so happy about it, man.
I mean, if it was, I'm not, I mean, anybody, if it was a dude or
God,
whoever, it's not
that's-
just because I'm saying it doesn't. If that happens to anybody, if you think you're this tough guy, you intentionally hurt somebody in wrestling when like the goal is to trust the other person and put trust in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
time
don't know
for
the
you to get-
circumstances in which Courtney Rush and her got into the shoot fight, or like I don't know what happened that caused that, but
Yeah, I know that at the time, I think Courtney Rush like did something on Twitter where she had said like you shouldn't be in the business and you're unsafe and whatever. So I don't really know the whole story either. I just know that that a lot, like, she basically was barred from pro wrestling because that's just one thing you don't do. You don't hurt your opponent for real just because you're like you wanted to show how fucking cool you are or whatever, right?
Bulldog does it all the time.
Well, yeah.
Three
I
or
mean,
that's his thing.
4 times a year. Yeah. I'm actually pretty garbage, so that's what I got to do, right?
Oh wow.
So it
you got a
works.
reputation.
No,
yeah, I mean, I hurt my
a good
opponents all
one.
the time. It's just unintentional.
Right.
I work snug.
Yeah, it's that you got to get your shit in.
When you started training, were you under Eddie?
I was.
Had
in
you trained?
honor
Had you
of,
trained? Like, were you training somewhere else before you came to Eddie's school for a little bit there?
No, I started with you guys, like
Okay.
following you, like with elements and stuff like that. We done a few things like there, but I done a few training sessions when you guys were at the flea market.
Oh yeah.
And then when that shut down, I went to Rip School, the garage, for
Oh, okay.
couple months, and then I don't know what happened there, but I eventually moved here. So I wouldn't say completed training here, but I learned most of my stuff here.
Just about like being on the road out there.
Yeah, like with plenty of different people that came in, right? So
Yeah.
they don't have a school here, which is completely shit.
Hmm.
And so you just learn, you do seminars and stuff before shows and stuff like that. So
That's not a bad way of necessarily learning, though. There's lots of guys who say they learn the most on the road rather than at training.
oh, 100%. I definitely learned a lot more that way, being thrown into the fire rather than sitting in with a group of like 14, 15 people repeating. All the repetitive stuff is good, but you learn more just being thrown to the wolves, right?
Well, training school, yeah, it really should just be for fundamentals so that you don't hurt
Yeah.
anybody when you're in the ring. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
yourself.
I
You don't hurt
agree.
yourself. Like,
Yeah.
No, I agree, but like to put everything together and kind of get your ring awareness and stuff like that. being thrown into it worked a lot better for me, I guess.
Now,
Everybody's
were you running events and tours out there as well, or were you just like had a hand in that? Because I remember for a while there, you were on like those week stretch tours out in Newfoundland, right?
Yeah, I was just on them. I don't know. They booked me because they had nobody else. So
that's how I get every one of my bookings, man. Don't feel bad.
we literally had, like, when I first moved here, Legend City Wrestling was touring, and we had 6 locals. So everybody else was flown in from the Maritimes, and even Ontario, like Dukes was in steady, and other people.
Yeah, the Necro Butcher once told me the best ability is availability. If you're there, if you're there, I mean, you might get booked, right?
Yeah, well,
That's how Joe Dog gets all his ring announcing bookings too. he just
If
shows
he was
up.
a superhero, that would be a superpower. That would be his ability.
Yeah.
It's always available.
And he always has a microphone. I'll use mine. It's okay, guys. I'm already ready.
Yeah, that's how I got this gig. Is I was available.
Yeah, I know. When I used to send you all I would have to say to Joe is, "Hey," and he'd say like, "All right, what's the link? What time?" And every time,
Rex would be like, "It could be something else that I'm asking."
Never is.
Just let you know you're there.
Yeah, that's right. So, well, that's pretty cool. So there's not a lot of guys to kind of swap talent and stories with out there, eh?
Well, not locally, but like you learn a lot of stuff by everybody that came in. Like, we had a stint of a bunch of Puerto Ricans coming in steady. Like, it was hard, but it was good, but it was really hard. And then you got a bunch of people from the States coming up, and it was cool. Like, I liked it. I met a lot of people, learned a lot.
what joke were you looking for, Eric?
I just didn't know. I mean, it just ended at Puerto Ricans. I didn't know where else we were going.
Yeah, sorry, we weren't allowed to put in the ad no Puerto Ricans, but no Puerto Ricans. Yeah, what's the so what like I know, like, if when I run a show in Goderich, there isn't really like a lot to do here. Like, we have a movie theater and like a bowling alley, stuff like that, but there's not a lot that comes to town as far as live entertainment. So is that what it's like kind of in your area as well? Or like, so when you do run a show and fly guys in, it's normally worth it because you got a big crowd? Or
they get crazy crowds
in St. John's. Like, I'm about an hour out from the capital city, but in St. John's we sell out steady, so it's like 500-600 every time.
Wow.
And then we ran a local arena last year. No, the year before last, and we had 1,000.
Oh,
so that was pretty cool.
That's like 5,000 in Ontario.
If someone drew 1,000 in Ontario, it would be advertised that they drew 5,000 for sure.
Well, yeah, but not only that, but yeah. Holy shit, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, man. They get the draw out there is insane, and I don't understand why Ontario can't get stuff.
Well, because there's so much in Ontario.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But okay, even cut half of that back. It's still like I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
You get a good look at a bull's ass.
I got a point here.
You get a good look at a butcher's ass. You put your head up there.
I knew you were gonna go there, Joe. You son of a bitch. Even if you cut half of that back, it's not everybody at the same show because they're not all traveling. A lot of the people that do the Toronto shows aren't going anywhere else, and it's their Toronto niche crowd.
Are you talking about I mean in
general
fans? No,
okay.
Fans.
But in general, there's more things to do, not just wrestling.
Right.
Everything.
Oh, not just wrestling. Yeah, everything.
Like Newfoundland, I would imagine it's like if a show's coming to town, it's like like there's actually a show coming to town. Let's go see this.
And that's why, that was kind of my point before, was that like Goderich, normally we get like the first show we got like 150 or whatever, and that's what we get in Alpine, or if that, right? So it's because they're like, well, we could either go to the same bowling alley we've gone to for 10 years, or why don't we try this live wrestling thing? This might be fun. So
I find Ontario's difference is there's too many wrestling promotions.
So okay.
Here we have one.
Yeah.
So if you like wrestling, you can only go to see this one, right? Where in Ontario you got 3 or 4 running Toronto on the same day.
What would happen if a second or third one started up in that area? Would they last, or would they just get like, would it be healthy competition, or would it be kind of like would there be heat, you think?
Man, the way stuff runs here is complete garbage. So I'll go back to when I first moved here. I've had like the mindset where back in Ontario, you take any booking you can get, right? There's guys working every weekend. Even I was on shows almost every weekend, or like before I moved.
Yeah.
And here, so I took that mindset when I first moved here. There was 2 promotions. It was the Legend City Wrestling, and then there was Cutting Edge Wrestling. So Cutting Edge was starting back up. They messaged me, said, "Hey, you know." So I took the booking, and once I took that booking, I got blacklisted from the Legend City Wrestling.
Shit.
They don't want you to do both, right? So, but now after years gone by, the mentality kind of switched because there's not enough people here there's not enough money into it, really.
Yeah, and if they're gonna be like territorial like that, where they're like, you can't work here, you can only work for us, they should at least be running enough shows to keep you busy all month.
Yeah, well, like I said,
Or
I'm not
paying
getting
you a lot more.
Yeah,
I
I'm not getting a weekly paycheck, right?
I
So-
saw a Legend City Wrestling on TV. I was like scrolling through and it said Legend City Wrestling. And I was like, oh, so it must have been like maybe like a Newfoundland NTV channel or something. And I watched it and there was some actually
TV.
yeah, NTV, yeah. So there was actually some pretty good. There was a dude who like
I thought I froze.
Nice save, Joe. That was a good save.
no
There was a little
way.
bit of a Wi-Fi. You cut
I
out a
heard
little
what
bit,
he said.
Brandon, and Joe was perfect. He caught it. Yeah, it was
I
awesome.
heard what he said. There was a dude that he does like a super good Heath Ledger Joker impression, but he calls himself something, but he like does the way he talks, he sounds just like Heath Ledger from the Joker.
God.
But I
narrow it down for me.
I can't remember what his name was. But he made it like just different enough so that he had like red instead of green or whatever. But he was really And anyway, there were some talented people. There was
Man, that's Crimson. He's from
Crimson!
From Detroit.
Yeah, he's not even from there, dude.
Oh, he's not from there.
Yeah.
well, he wrestled Legend City Wrestling, so there you go.
Yeah.
Man, that was a long story.
And the whole end of the story is, yeah, he's not from here.
Yeah.
From him. All right, okay. I have a legitimate Newfoundland question though, because in Ontario we have something called Newfie fries, which is like poutine but with like stuffing, like turkey stuffing in it. Is that a real thing in Newfoundland?
Dude, I don't
Or
even
we
think
just-
that's an Ontario thing. I think that's a Godrich thing.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I've never heard of that before.
Do they have
Yeah.
that in Newfoundland? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, we call it fries, dressing, and gravy. We don't put Newfie fries on it. But
Yeah, we
Well,
bastardized
yeah.
it and called it
It's
a.
I mean, Chinese people don't call Chinese food. They just call it
Or
food.
It's kind of like how like they in Quebec they had the croissant, and then we jammed a cheeseburger in it and called it a croissandwich, right? And then it's like the Newfie fry. You never had a croissandwich?
Oh no, I've had it.
Okay.
I think it's a horrible analogy.
So anyway, we call it. I guess we call it Newfie fries, but maybe that's just because you guys call it fries with. It's fucking good, bro. I mean, I haven't had it in a while, but you gotta try it, Eric, especially in your state of munchies, if you will.
Right.
It's fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's not bad. Okay, it's really good. It's
Okay,
really
Joe,
good.
translate.
He said it's really. He said it's really good.
Yes!
He said it's really good.
Oh, okay. So my accent, very good.
No, it wasn't your accent. It was the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi cut out a little bit. So Joe seems to always understand when the Wi-Fi cuts out.
Because
he knows
I'm
exactly.
from Godrich and we have Godrich Wi-Fi.
That was the perfect timing because your Wi-Fi cut out.
That's funny. I can't wait to see it.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, yeah, you're rocking the
Oh.
Leafs hat there. Do you get some? Do you ever get some flack in Newfoundland for rocking an Ontario team? Not that there is,
Yeah, who are they cheering for?
but I'm just
No,
saying, like, who's the big team out there that you guys kind of go for?
we got the Toronto, the ECHL, like it's the league underneath the AHL.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Toronto's team's here, so it's kind
Oh,
of
so there you
it's-
go.
Toronto's training camp was actually here last year, the year before last. So
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of a mix between Toronto and Montreal.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
It's pretty.
Yeah. What's wrong with Rex? What's wrong with your shirt?
I had one too many buttons undone, but now I feel like there's too many done up.
Oh wow.
It's a big drop, you know.
That is a big drop. That's
They need a
weird
half.
thing for a button.
Yeah, they
need
need
one
a
in the
half
middle.
button. They
Yeah.
need like a one less.
Oh god.
This is just for you folks on patreon.com/Good
I love-
Brother Morning.
I love how it literally goes from like turtleneck to sex shirt. Like
Yeah, I know. I look like a 70s fucking. My
One
face is too
towel.
red.
in one foul swoop.
Like I got too many rings on. I'm at a bar just hitting on chicks. Like, hey, lady.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
I'm sorry I invited you on this podcast.
Is it too early
Also-
to leave?
No.
No.
Eric invites, he gets his get. He doesn't do this often, but once in a while he'll get a guest and he's
Right.
all excited about it. And then as we start the Zoom call before we start recording, and he can't even speak. He's so fucked up on edibles. It's like, why do you do this? Every time you book somebody, you just
It
show up.
wasn't. I didn't mean to take that much.
Every time he takes like 4 or 5, they don't do anything, and so he's like, well, better have a couple more.
Well, if I came on and it wasn't like this, it'd be kind of let down after listening.
Right?
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
few of them. So it's kind of good. It's
Yeah.
kind of good. Don't let it go to your head.
I'm funny. Oh man. Do you ever go down to the States for wrestling?
I worked there once.
That's it, eh? And
Yeah.
never attempted anything again?
It's so hard to get anywhere outside Newfoundland unless you're paying your own way, and I'm not doing that every time.
Right.
So it's just it is what it is.
How long does
If
it
I was
take
an
you
actor,
to get out of your province to go to another show? Like the closest place you can go out of your province. How long would it take you?
like the closest place to like Nova Scotia, it's an hour plane ride.
Oh, there's no way off unless
you
the
can't
plane.
drive?
Well, you could drive, but then you got to take a boat. So for me to get across the island, it's about 9.5 hour drive,
Oh my god.
and then a 6.5 hour boat ride.
So you'd be traveling for like 24 hours to get to like a show in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, for $20. So
Oh my god.
Oh Lord.
See, you Ontario guys are spoiled. You know, it's like you're like, oh, I had to drive 2 hours or whatever. You should, you know.
Dude, you should have just moved to England. What? Just keep going, man.
I think the weather's the same anyway, so it's not too far off.
That's incredible. See, I don't know anything about Newfoundland. Like it's
There's
just
not
completely.
much to
I know.
man.
I know that Newfoundland is ahead of us in time. So, like, Brandon, don't tell us what happens in the future because, like,
You see,
don't ruin
you
it.
Set yourself up for
what
the
he did
joke, man.
Like, just don't ruin it because, like, I don't want to know what happens. Like, I don't want like a spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Sexy
no, we're
Star
like-
got murdered in her second MMA fight.
Her face looks like ground beef, and she just got all because I'm tough, and then she just got miffed.
Hey, you're a sociopath.
I might be.
Hey,
Holy
speaking of
God.
shoot fights, apparently Pretty Ricky's coming to my house to shoot fight me May 16th on my front lawn.
Brandon, who you got? Who do you think is going to win? Pretty Ricky or?
I don't know, man.
I'm
It
taking
depends
Rex.
what condition he gets
You
me in.
I gotta go with Rex just because I know him. I gotta back him up, I guess. And
Yeah,
All he has
yeah.
to do though
Yeah,
is,
man.
is outlast me because
All you have to do is sit on him.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I have to catch
Wow.
him first. I don't know if you've been in my front yard, but there's no ropes. I can't.
No, Rose.
trap him.
He's gonna come in wearing his singlet and just all greased up with his hair. He's gonna look up like greased up deaf guy.
You're never gonna catch me.
It's just gonna be me chasing Pretty Ricky around the tree in my front yard for like
yeah.
10 minutes until I get tired.
I hope he brings Josh Alexander because he's like, okay, you win, you beat me. Now
The
here's
whole point
real-
of this was to drum up Patreon subscribers and to get money rolling in.
right.
And Pretty Ricky now is just doing it for nothing with nobody. Also, by the way, he has an event page that said as of like 2 hours after he made it, 31 people were going. I'm like, I can't have that. There's bylaw officers around here. I'm gonna get a fine.
He's gonna show up with a bus, and like all these people get
That
off.
was a great sound effect. You should, instead of doing Simpsons impressions, you should do like car sounds and stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I won't try to compete with your sounds.
Well, to be honest, his horn was more of like a transport on the highway. It wasn't really a school bus horn.
well,
but-
I was trying to picture like one of those big buses, like the.
oh, you got a
speaking of that,
Greyhound.
Speaking of that, on Wednesday, Brandon, do you watch AEW at all? AEW.
I record it and I sometimes get caught up.
So this week, Cody Rhodes showed up with this bus. Okay, it says the American Nightmare on the side. It's got the picture of his tattoo that's on his neck. Okay, it's pasted. It's
Great
80
tattoo.
feet tall on the side of this bus. Okay, so these guys walk out, whatever, they're fighting. So later on, they like are near the bus, and Cody Rhodes comes out, and the announcer's like, "Cody Rhodes, he's here, I'm like, yeah, what tipped you off? The bus with the fucking letters that are. Of course, he's on his
Is
bus.
this your argument right now? I don't know. What...
It's his bus. Of course, he's on his bus, right?
I
And
just
then
want to
they
know,
fight.
like, okay, keep going.
They fight
Yeah,
to go to the
that's
top
fine.
of the bus. Okay, they go to the top of the bus, and the ref follows them to the top of the bus because the ref's like, "Hey, I got to make sure the top of the bus is jurisdiction, right?" He puts him in a figure four on the top of the bus because everybody knows that a figure four hurts more when you're higher up.
Oh my!
Well, gravity, because the way gravity works is pulling
Right.
harder.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
didn't dangle him off the side of the bus.
Lack of oxygen.
Yeah, the blood
Oh,
is
it's like the
Yeah,
mountains.
yeah.
yeah,
like
it's
the Rockies.
altitude.
Yeah. That
How
and
is
I mean that they were on steel. It could have been either hot or cold, depending on what time of day it was.
Yeah.
Also, there could have been, he could have been not feeling well from earlier, and he didn't have his, Robaxa
Also,
set. He didn't have his Robaxa set.
Right before he put the figure four on him, maybe he just seen the photo of Sexy Star's face. He's a little queasy,
That's
and he
true.
gets the figure four on him. Now he's gonna throw up, the pain on the knees, everything. It's
Right. And then he can just all he has to do is just put his head to the side, it'll fall off the bus. It won't be beside them anymore.
I
what
think
was the
same-
name of the Cody Rhodes bus? Like Lex had the Lex Express. What was
It
Cody
said
Rhodes?
the American Nightmare on the side. So
That's
I don't know
it.
if it's
No,
what-
no
may-
pun.
If it's like the Nightmare Express, I don't know, but
No, I think it was the Nightmare Factory, like the school he got.
okay.
That's
So-
not fun.
Remember
No.
when the DX had the DX Express? That was pretty cool, and they had
That's
the DX.
cool.
Yeah.
X
Yeah.
Express. See, I need the Rex Express. That's
I
what
don't,
I
think, I don't
Oh.
think you finished your story, Joe.
No,
I
that's
don't know where
it.
he was
It-
going with it.
That was
Hamburger-
it.
What?
The figure four on the bus.
That was it. He was up. It hurts more. It hurts
What?
more when you're higher up. You're like, oh no, if I was on the ground, I'd be okay, but I'm way up here. I mean, I don't need to sound like Jeff Black, who hates every fucking wrestling match since 1981, but I'm just saying that was maybe a little silly, is all I'm saying.
But he didn't carry him to the top of the bus to do the figure
The
four.
bus has his picture on it, and he's like, they're like, oh, I can't believe he's here. Cody's here. I'm like, yeah, it's got it. Of course he's in there. That's
They would've-
his bus.
They used to do the same thing for Austin when he pulled up in his like Hummers and monster trucks. He's here! By God, he's here!
Yeah, what else do you want them to say?
You show me one goddamn time that Stone Cold drove a Hummer into the.
Whatever.
So fuck you, Eric. Fuck you.
You get my point.
There was a Zamboni. There was a beer truck. There was a monster truck, but there was no Hummer. So you owe
Okay.
me $5.
Okay, but my point still stands.
Yeah, what else? What's the
they-
alternative? What's the
Yeah, they
alternative?
have to
there?
hype it. Yeah.
Well,
What do you want them to say?
Listen,
the
I'm
worst
just
thing about it was when he was there, Cody Rhodes was in the door for like 5 minutes just staring out the window before he said he was even there.
yeah.
So he's just like looking out like this at the guy, and it's just nothing.
It's like the beginning of that Walk Hard movie. Like he's got to think about his whole life before he goes on stage. He's just sitting there like,
that movie's actually pretty funny. Because I like the. Have you ever seen it, Brandon? The Walk Hard with the Dewey Cox?
No, I haven't actually.
They have a scene where he's talking to the Beatles, and the Beatles are like, do you want some more LSD? And he's like, no, I don't want. And then George Harrison keeps talking, and they're like, it's funny that you're the quiet Beatle because you never shut the fuck up.
yeah. I like the one where for an entire tour with Thorne, we had Paul Saccone, aka Ref Boy RD,
Yeah.
on the tour, and I kept using the phrase "Paul's a big fat cunt" all the time because it was from that movie. But he didn't know the movie, so I'm just constantly calling him a big fat cunt, and he doesn't
And he
get it.
didn't get it. He
No,
didn't get it.
no, he wasn't happy about it.
They also have a good.
Oh
They have a
my-
couple good songs on that movie too, because it's like, in my mind, you're blowing me some kisses.
Yeah.
So like, it sounds like it's really dirty.
You two are just talking about a movie that neither of us have.
There's another great line in that movie, which was another
nod and
inside
say
joke
yes.
for the entire tour as well, which was he's talking to his wife. He's already super rich and famous, and she's just like got like 6 babies in her arms. She's like, why don't you just give up? And he's like, what do you mean? I bought you all these nice things. I got you. He's like, why don't you believe in me? She's like, I do believe in you. I just know you're never gonna make it. He's already, like, super fair. So from that point on, now every time anyone asks me for advice or say, I just tell them like, yeah, you're really good, but you're never gonna make it. Like that's
You're not gonna make
You're
it.
such a dick. You're
Yeah.
such a bully. Nothing's changed from high school.
Uh,
well, I'm not related to them now.
Oh,
In high
okay,
school, I was
well,
related to the ones I bullied.
Right. Okay.
They're my
that's
cousin
fair.
and his friends. Yeah.
That makes it definitely okay.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
it better, right? I just attack people I'm not even related to.
Yeah.
oh.
Wonderful.
Fucking
Sexy
Joe.
Star. Like Sexy Star.
You bully Joe all the time. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I verbally break his arm every night on the
No.
podcast.
Oh no.
That's amazing.
I like it.
Oh, all right, man. So when things open back up, you're planning on coming back like right away, or taking your time with everything?
I gotta put things together, so it depends on when I can get up and like my family here and like my daughter and whatnot. So
Yeah, that's right. You're a
Baby
dad
steps.
now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How's that going?
it's really good, surprisingly really good. So
Oh,
no complaints, no complaints.
That's
But-
crazy. You're the three of you are just adults, and I'm just over here
Yeah.
My
not having children.
try not to wreck the kayfabe, but it's since it's Sunday night, my little guy was having a bath and he fucking hates bath. Like he just
I thought for sure this was going, he shit the bath.
no. It's just he's like, it's gonna get in my eyes. And I'm like, then close your eyes. And he's like, yeah, and he holds them open and gets all scared.
So does he
The
not like
neighbors
swimming
think-
either?
No, he doesn't mind swimming because he can wear goggles and put his shit on or whatever. But the neighbors must think we're like cutting him up with the chainsaw because he's dying. He acts like he is dying. What about you, Brandon? Does your little one there, do you have any like things that it totally hates yet, or what? It's a little girl, is it? Little girl or boy?
Yeah, no, she's pretty
girl.
easygoing, but like she was like sick for this whole week, so she'd get her crying, she'd cry and flip out. But luckily, the people who live around us is the wife's family, so like they would call like, "Is everything okay?" And she's just like throwing up a tantrum, right? But
Yeah.
other than that, she's good.
Good. Yeah.
Surprisingly, it's the wife that's more out of control. But hey,
Oh,
Oh, shit. It's okay,
Oh.
Brandon. She's not going to watch this. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sling
yeah.
some shit.
like some shit.
That is where I come to sling shit about Sierra all the time.
It's true.
But
It's
also
true.
because he has a small baby, there probably is actually some shit being slung occasionally. There's
Oh,
like diapers. and
that's-
stuff.
See, Eric, when you
gross.
have kids, sometimes you get poop on you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
That's-
it's
It's
only
gross.
bad the first time.
No,
Yeah,
you
it's fine.
three are just the
As-
worst type of
As
people.
Eric's spouse gets on the camera, she's like, yeah, sometimes when you're married to an alcoholic, you also get shit on you.
She's-
I resent that, Rex.
Of course, light. Wow. That's a big
Eric-
change for you.
recently,
Yeah, Jesse left him here.
recently I saw there apparently Drew McIntyre wrote a book, and he has a little section in the book where he talked about helping a super drunk Bret Hart back to his hotel room because like they got drunk at a bar, like they were hanging out after I don't know, some charity show or something, and he had to like him and Natty had to like carry Bret, and he's like, he was my favorite wrestler as a kid, and now I'm like trying to make sure he doesn't barf on me to carry him back to the thing. So there you go, Eric. That you get carried around all the time because you're drunk.
Oh my goodness.
You can get a good look at a butcher's ass.
Yeah, like what was the
Okay,
point to that story?
Well, because we were
Brandon.
just talking about how you get carried around and stuff,
Okay, you guys shut up. Brandon, where can everybody find you on social media?
Bulldog Brandon Hines on everything on Instagram, Facebook. I don't use Twitter.
Okay.
Oh, not a Twitter guy.
I
don't like
hate it,
hanging
to be
in
honest.
Too much.
Yeah, I
Is it
agree.
s-
Twitter sucks
Is it still a thing?
for some people.
Wow.
Like
It's-
Kingdom, he's on it lots.
Constantly, yeah. I mean, it's good,
Hashtag.
good advertising spot, no?
Good.
I don't-
Just as-
Yeah, I find I have like a decent amount of followers on the Good Brother Morning one, but we don't really get a lot of interaction from that as much as we do like Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
But anyways, that should have been off air.
But you can still follow us. Still follow us
Yeah.
on there though. Yeah.
Yeah, where you can find us at Good Bro Morning on Twitter or on Instagram, Good Brother Morning, or on Facebook. You just type in Good Brother Morning. You'll find us. That's Monday morning. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Brandon.
Hey, thanks, Brandon.
No problem, guys.
Show on the road.